police investigate crime, murder and mystery, but their work is often kept hidden. Now, three of Britain's most respected mediums have joined forces to reveal how their incredible gifts can be used to provide evidence where often the only witnesses are the dead. Colin Fry, Tony Stockwell and TJ Higgs will take on closed cases, baffling murders and unsolved crimes. They'll help families find answers, unravel mysteries and illuminate the unexplained. Together they are the Psychic Private Eyes. In this episode, our team of paranormal experts investigate the case of a suspicious suicide.
I keep being shown a vision of someone with a belt round their neck.
Colin lifts the lid on past events.
It was too easily put down as suicide.
Tony tracks faded footprints using dowsing rods.
I think you come out the flat, come down here.
And TJ attempts to summon a voice from beyond the grave.
Come forward and speak to us.
For 12 years, Linda Dodd has been troubled by the mysterious circumstances surrounding the death of her brother Michael. The pain of losing Michael has been deepened by the suspicion that something more sinister lingers in the air.
My brother was found hanged, and I wasn't entirely satisfied that actually he had committed suicide, and hopefully the psychics will be able to unravel the mystery.
After all this time, can the combined talents of Colin Fry, Tony Stockwell and TJ Higgs come to Linda's aid?
I don't really have anybody to go to get those answers apart from Michael himself through the psychics.
This is the tragic tale of a sister's search for the truth behind her brother's death. To kickstart the investigation, Linda visits Colin for a one-to-one reading, whilst TJ conducts a photo reading using an image of Michael. As with all our cases, the psychics have no prior knowledge of the story.
First thing that I'm feeling, Linda, is this feeling of someone who's trying to move very close to me, or someone's trying to get close to me, trying to get into my vibration. And the feeling that they've been giving me, even while we've been preparing to speak to one another, is this feeling of this very fun, exciting person.
A lot of love. A whole lot of love. Led Zeppelin singing in my head.
I don't know what this is. It's some form of... The only thing that I can imagine, it's like I see a musical instrument a bit like a sitar.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a possibility.
It's not a guitar. It doesn't feel or look right, but it's stringed, and my mind sort of thinks of instruments, well, maybe like a sitar or like a harp with a sound box or something in it.
It's all about the music. Definitely likes his music, this man. Come on, show me.
What do I want to be in Greece for? The very strong feeling of being taken to Greece.
Yes.
I want a Mediterranean derivative of the name of Paul, or a Greek version of the name Paul. And if we were in Spanish, it would be Paulo or something like that. But it's
No.
if it doesn't drop into place straight away, don't worry about it. Something will come to think that. Okay.
Oh, I feel really woozy. I feel like I'm in a 70s film with the psychedelic walls. I'm just totally lost here at the moment.
Linda, I believe you brought a photograph with you. Do you think I could just have a look at that?
Yes, certainly.
Thanks. Right.
He's taking me through his music. Yes, I know you love your music. Come on. I don't know if he actually liked In Excess, because I've got Suicide Blonde now singing in my head, so... He's showing me him in his hotel room with the belt round his neck. Take that away. I don't want to see you.
I'm being shown a road with a rather steep bank coming down the side of it, and rather a sharp angled corner. And I'm also getting the sense you or someone connected very closely to you going back over and over and over again, many, many times.
Yes. Tell me, tell me, tell me. He's affecting my throat, so I know he's trying to show me things. Come on, tell me.
Can you understand that he would sleep in one of 3 places?
Yeah.
I don't want to say 3 places that I would call home, but it was like that. 3 places I would call home.
Yeah.
And he moved around them, never staying in one for too long. He would stay in one and then move on to the next one, and it was like he would do a triangle and he would circulate between the 3 of them.
I just keep seeing flashes of my knees going from below me, like I'm falling down, and I just cannot breathe. I cannot hear. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter.
I take it that the place that he's trying to show me, the bend in the road, is where he was found dead.
Yeah.
There's something there he wants me to see.
Cracking my bones here.
The person in this photograph's being put under pressure before or after. After this photograph was taken, pressure being applied into getting to this person to change their way of thinking.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
But not in a particular pleasant way, quite manipulative. In a way that's actually making me feel quite uncomfortable.
I keep feeling like I'm being followed. If I'm walking and there's people behind me.
I do get the sensing of him watching, looking over his shoulder all the time. He was highly nervous, highly agitated. Who came off of heroin? It's not him.
No.
But it's too connected to him.
It would have been someone that he knew, yes.
Yeah. And I don't want to cast him as a like bad boy or anything, but
no.
He knew people that had gone through that.
He knew lots of people who'd been through that,
right,
yeah.
Okay. And I'm getting a very strange image here. I'm being shown his child's name either scratched into wood, carved on a tree, but it's on wood.
I feel really, really cold now.
He knew something about this child's passing that he would rather he didn't know.
Yeah.
It's almost like he doesn't want to put words to it, or doesn't want to... There's something unsavoury about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Linda, although I initially see this as a happy photograph, the happiness was short-lived.
Yes, it was.
He takes me forward and he shows me a vivid red mark round the neck.
Even as I look at that picture, it's like there's a shadow going across his neck, and there's not a shadow across his neck in the picture.
From this I conclude, I have to put 2 and 2 together. I think he's showing me that he was found hung.
Yes.
I keep being shown a vision of someone with a belt around their neck, something very tight around their neck, something hard.
Tell me, my love, was he found hung near a door or over the back of a door?
Yeah.
Logic would dictate suicide. I don't feel comfortable with that.
No, I don't either.
He needs to tell his loved ones, yes, he can be quiet, he'll have his moments, you know, but he wouldn't have done that to himself.
You've not let your imagination run away with itself.
Okay.
I'm in pain here.
Yeah.
I'm in pain here.
When these bones are broken and it's pulled again, but he's already gone then, so he couldn't have done another pull. It is. There's someone pulling tighter on this. It's not him. He's not... This isn't a man that has hung himself.
And again, he keeps on taking me back to this place where there's this sharp turn in the road, it banks down, and again he's saying, if I took you there, you'd see it.
From the readings, it's clear that both Colin and TJ believe that Michael didn't take his own life.
Logic would dictate suicide. I don't feel comfortable with that.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Coming up, more revelations about the case.
It was just such a shock.
Will the location Colin saw add fresh insight?
And this is the sharp corner that he was trying to show me.
And the triangle.
And the triangle.
Does Michael's flat hold the secret to his passing? Linda Dodd has spent the last 12 years questioning the decision to label her brother's death as suicide.
I have a gut feeling that he wouldn't actually have committed suicide.
So far, the psychic private eyes have made some startling claims.
This isn't a man that has hung himself.
I can't use the word suicide.
Now, Colin, TJ and Tony hope to get to the bottom of what happened to Michael on his last night.
The last time I saw Michael alive, we were at my mum's house. We were having a birthday celebration. Then the next night, I got a phone call to say that they had found him. It was my father and a friend that actually found him. And I think that they just cut him down, and then there wasn't anything else they could do. So then they came over and the services took over. It has been playing on my mind that the police had said, are you absolutely positive? Because there were other injuries apart from a definite suicide. At the time I said yes. And that was one of the nagging things in the back of my mind afterwards, was I absolutely sure? He was a loving, caring person, and I don't think he wouldn't dream of hurting anybody, and he knows that it would have destroyed a lot of people, and it did.
During her reading with Colin, Linda gave nothing away as to its accuracy.
If it doesn't drop in place straight away, don't worry about it. Something will come to think that, okay?
So were the insights that Colin and TJ came up with correct?
Michael and I were very close in age, and as we were growing up, we did lots of things together. We went out together because he worked in the music business.
He was this very fun, exciting person.
All about the music.
He was a roadie and he was doing gigs with lots of bands. I quite often went along to some of the venues that the bands were playing at.
I see a musical instrument a bit like a sitar.
Colin did say there was a musical instrument that he could see. Michael was, or did, try and make guitars, even though he had guitars. So he quite possibly did have some kind of very unusual shaped guitar.
My mind sort of thinks of instruments, well, maybe like a sitar or like a harp with a sound box or something in it.
He spent all his time with musicians playing music when he wasn't helping other people to play music.
Definitely likes his music, this man.
Music was what Michael lived for.
What do I want to be in Greece for?
Colin picked up a Greek connection, and he did mention actually someone's name, Palo.
Greek version of the name Paul. Palo or something like this.
I couldn't think at the time who Palo was, but Michael did actually have a friend called Palo who lived very near, so the Greek feeling was a good one.
Who came off of heroin. He knew people that had gone through that.
He was in the music business, so yes, he did know people that had had a drug problem at some point in their lives.
He would sleep in one of 3 places.
Yeah. When Colin said about 3 locations and 3 places that he could call home, he did actually stay at 3 places at that period of time.
It was like he would do a triangle and he would circulate between the 3 of them.
He was going from his girlfriend's house to my mother's house to the flat where he was found. So it was a triangle in more ways than one.
I'm being shown a road with a rather steep bank coming down the side of it, so he's taking me to a place where he was found dead.
The sharp bend and the steep bank, it sounded exactly like where Michael was found.
Again, he's saying, if I took you there, you'd see it. Was he found hung over the back of a door?
From what I understand, where my brother was found, it was in between a kitchen door and a dining room.
I keep being shown a vision of someone with a belt round their neck.
He said it didn't feel that that would be the way he would want to do it if he was going to do that.
Doesn't feel right.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
So there's another little nag there as to whether he actually did do this himself. He was very excited about being a father. It was, he couldn't wait, you know, and then it became very bad news that there was some sort of defect and they was going to terminate the baby.
He knew something about this child's passing that he would rather he didn't know.
Michael's baby was induced, and it was very upsetting and very unpleasant.
It's almost like he doesn't want to put words to it, or doesn't want to, there's something unsavoury about it.
Yeah. It was a long time in hospital, and after that he really was dreadfully, dreadfully upset. So, you know, it was unpleasant for everybody.
I'm being shown his child's name scratched into wood.
Child's name carved in wood would be something that my brother would definitely have put somewhere. In the last 6 months before Michael died, his life was in quite a bad way. He wasn't working, his relationship wasn't good, and he'd lost a baby, and somebody else close in the family was expecting a baby as well at that time. So it was even more painful to watch somebody else about to produce a baby when you'd just lost a baby yourself. So, you know, there are understandable reasons why somebody would be feeling very, very low, and we were very concerned about him.
I'm in pain. I'm in pain here.
It suddenly came to mind when Colin was saying about having a pain in the side. He had been badly beaten, and I thought maybe he had been attacked in some way that we didn't know about. Maybe been punched or kicked in the side. So that is a strong possibility that that's where Colin was feeling the pain from that. Colin did say as well that someone went many times back to the place.
And I'm getting the sense that someone connected very closely to you, going back many, many times.
I took that to think that it was about my dad going backwards and forwards to the flat on a regular basis to look for the keys. My father was quite troubled, the fact that there were not keys, and spent many days and went over there at every opportunity he could get to search, and although he didn't really say at the time, we kind of all knew quietly to ourselves that he was looking for those keys.
After the tragedies that befell Michael leading up to his sudden death and the mysteries surrounding the event, it's the absence of the keys that still torments Linda.
My brother was found locked in a flat. The mysterious thing was we couldn't find the keys.
How could Michael have committed suicide and locked the door of the flat if his house keys were nowhere to be found? Linda's anticipation about solving the mystery of the keys increases as she meets Colin for the first time since the one-to-one reading. Can he shed new light on this very peculiar locked-room mystery?
There was a set of keys that went missing, and we did go back there many times to look for those keys.
There's something there he wants me to see. I will be putting out thoughts saying, you know, can you give some explanation about these missing keys?
Yeah.
And if they can respond to that, or if they can get it through to me, they might start trying to give me some pointers of where we need to go or where we need to be looking. I kept getting the importance of this area that was being shown to me as a triangle. There was 3 places you would do a triangle and you would circulate between the 3 of them. And I understand that you believe that you know where that is.
Yes, I
and
do.
we're going to go along there shortly. So it'd be interesting to see if I can pick up anything further once we're in that location.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank
Good.
you.
Okay. As we're walking, down here now, I just feel that the flat was locked behind him. Someone locked the door, and then the keys were disposed of. And I got a feeling as though these keys were got rid of fairly quickly, in this immediate vicinity. Very much so. And if I'm right, I believe that we're standing fairly close now to where Michael lived.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
In fact, it's just literally here,
Right, okay.
up there.
And this is the sharp corner, the sharp bend
Yep.
that he was trying to show me.
And the triangle.
And the triangle. It keeps on taking me back to this place where there's this sharp turn in the road. If I could just take you there, you would understand straight away.
Okay.
Linda believes that the triangle refers to a patch of grass and trees shaped by the 3 roads outside the flat where Michael's body was found. As the cameraman is setting up her shot, Colin has a sudden flash of psychic inspiration.
Paint can. The keys placed in an empty paint can. Just as that white van pulled up there, I just saw it. Paint can.
That would explain why we couldn't find them.
That's
Even
what
though
I
we,
say.
we were looking.
There was paint can. Quite a big paint can. Prise the lid off, drop the keys inside the paint can, and stuck the lid back on top. And then pushed it down into a rubbish skip.
Has Colin finally found the solution to the mystery of the keys? Coming up, Tony psychometrizes Michael's flat.
Washing his hands. Because he's revolted by what he's done.
Dowsing medium Donna Stewart tries to follow the trail of the killer.
Something's happened here. It's a change in the trail.
And TJ attempts to raise a voice from the dead.
I think we've got something.
33-year-old Michael Powell tragically lost his life in December 1993. For his sister Linda, his premature death has left her with many unanswered questions.
And I don't really have anybody to go to get those answers apart from Michael himself through the psychics.
In an effort to find some closure, she has enlisted the help of the psychic private eyes to untangle the mystery.
I think Michael was very sad at that point in his life, but I have a gut feeling that he wouldn't actually have committed suicide.
Tony visits Michael's flat, where he attempts to tap into emotional energy trails.
I'm here in North London. I've come to Michael's flat. It's a place where he lived, and unfortunately it's also a place where he died. I've come along really to get a real sense of him and his energy in this space, and also to add a sense of clarity, I hope, to exactly what happened to Michael. Hi, it's Tony. The time that he passed, I get a real strong feeling he's in a real spiral of depression. He could have taken his own life, but the way he feels, he may have considered that, but it's not the feeling that I have. And the very first thing I'm picking up in this space is energy here in the kitchen. And there's an argument in the kitchen, there's raised voices. And It's very much the energy of Michael that I'm homing into, and it's a real sense of pushing and shoving and an argument here in this space. Made my heart go over when I came in here. It's like when he's throttling him, he still only wants to scare him or just to beat him up. But it goes one to the other. It's far too violent. There's too much violence, and then he needs to quieten Michael down. It's like there's a belt or something that's kind of reasonably thick around my neck, or a cord that's thicker around his throat, and he chokes him and chokes him and chokes him, and he thinks that first of all that he's unconscious, but he's gone. He's already gone. He's going. And without Michael knowing, he walks down the end. He walks to the end of the corridor. He walks to the end of this corridor. He walks here, listening. Listens at the door. Hears something in the stairwell. He hears somebody in the stairwell. Michael's still in the flat. The other man is here. He's making efforts to lock this door. That's important. Lock that door. Lock that door. It's very strange because I'm jumping. I'm jumping minutes, an hour at a time. And it's almost out of sequence for me. The kitchen talks to me of a fight, definitely. And I know that the person that hurts Michael comes into the bathroom, just washing his hands. It's not even as calculated as washing evidence away. It's just washing away any sense of Michael on him. I feel very strongly that somebody throttled Michael in the kitchen and then dragged him into another space, lifted him with all their might to make it look like he'd taken his own life. And I know he's looking around the room, he's looking around to make sure he's not left anything of his, anything that will talk about him being in this space. I think Michael's flat was a bit messy. It feels bits everywhere. Like it's hard for him to see what he's left and what he hasn't. He takes 3 things from this flat. He takes Michael's keys. There's a book with money in a book. Not a lot of money, but it's there. It's a book with money. A book with money. There's keys. And there's lighter cigarettes, something like this, in my hand too. And I believe I jump out of the window. He doesn't jump at all. He hangs from the window. He hangs from the window down. I'm just trying to feel the man that I believe to be responsible for the way that Michael passes. And he knows Michael. It's been definitely some kind of mixed friendship vibe between the two of them. And he's remorseful. He is remorseful. This still happened. Still wrong. Remorseful to this very day. I believe Michael was murdered, absolutely. It's the clearest thing I can feel.